It's Hot 937, Hartford's number one for hip hop and R&B. This is the Beat of CT. My name is Jenny Boom Boom. DJ Meechie's here. What up, Meech?
What's up? What's up?
Another Sunday morning, and we got our good friend Jason Black here with us today from the Community Renewal team. How are you there, Jason?
Doing great. Doing great, Jenny, Meech. Thank you both for having us this morning. Really appreciate the chance to be with you.
Well, Jason, you're pretty much becoming like our co-host, so just expect to be on every Sunday now. And Casie, Derosier, who is actually from CRT also, and you are the project director for CRT's Medication Assistance Treatment Program. Am I correct in that title?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, it's great to have you.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
So, Casie, I know you're here to talk to us today about opioid addiction and how it's affecting, the Connecticut community. And I'm just curious, are you seeing an uptick in use since the pandemic at all, or?
I wouldn't say an uptick on use. I would say an uptick on overdoses and deaths. The media obviously has a lot to capture during this trying time in the United States, and we all understand that. But most of the individuals that are being affected by this public health crisis of COVID-19 is people that have addiction issues, particularly the opioid use disorder, when you particularly can use for your first time and end up overdosing and passing away with one use. They say that, let me see if I have pen cap. The top of my pen cap, all you have to do is take that much of fentanyl or carfentanil, and there's a good chance you're going to end up overdosing and dying. So it's particularly a huge issue that needs to continue to be talked about during trying times like the COVID pandemic.
Right, because so many folks are finding themselves by themselves.
Right.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say isolation. You choose to isolate and feel alone, but definitely people's safety nets, I would say, have been shooken up, if not significantly impaired because of what we're going through as a nation. In addition to rehabs, outpatients, it's limited for in-person access.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And also with funding, our nation is going through so much funding for the COVID pandemic and trying to help people stay alive through their basic needs. But what with the people that have demons to fight and diseases such as addiction or mental health issues that have to battle their depression and battle not killing themselves on a daily basis? Or if this is my last bag, who's gonna call for me for help when I'm not allowed to see nobody because of the COVID-19? So this is a huge issue that needs to continue to be talked about because people are dying. It was record. We might be doubling over 140,000 of passing away yearly. And they say, we all know the United States incarceration rate has always been particularly high. And they say, about 3/4 of individuals with opioid use disorder that get released from prison relapse. And with one relapse, we know with their tolerance, they could be passing away and dying as well. So we're getting people released from prison. Life did not stop. Addiction has not gone away, but we have to continue to talk about and continue to talk about the weapons we have to fight, because wars end. War on drugs, this never will end.
Right. Yeah.
Because World War II ended, Vietnam ended. Did war on drugs end? No.
Right. So, and we've talked about this before. I have a family member who is addicted to heroin, who is now, supposedly clean. I just say that because, we always look for the signs of possible relapse. But that started with just painkillers after surgery.
That's right. The thing about opioid disorder, even addiction, it doesn't discriminate. It's not a particular social class. It's not a particular race or culture, gender. It can happen to anybody. But the biggest thing is that we talk about it and we still have a voice, and we still have people that are compassionate, and want to help with weapons that we have to help them get better. Not cured, get better. It's a continued battle, like I said, but there's definitely evidence-based therapy and medications like MAT, medication-assisted treatment in the form of methadone, Suboxone, Vivitrol. Particularly at CRT, we prescribe and monitor Suboxone for a medication to help with opioid use disorder. That's what I oversee. I have 2 staff that are assigned to anyone that gets prescribed Suboxone at CRT. So in addition to having me, because I never leave, but having me oversee you, having them support you with transportation, with a phone call, with a check-in, with, hey, I don't know how to tell my girlfriend that I'm using, that's why I have to stick a needle in between my toes, to a therapist that, you know, really focusing on their clinical needs, and our doctors. It's a real tight social connection. And I feel that that's what makes CRT, you know, so special, is because we don't give up. If you leave, I'm driving around Hartford to try to find you. I found my clients on Park Street. I went to my client's tent. I forgot what, Cole Park. I follow you to prison. I make sure when you come out, we get you right integrated, because once you relapse, I don't know what's going to happen. We never know. So I feel like the methods that we use and that I'm really passionate about to build that relationship. And if you mess up, it's okay. We're still here. We're going to give you tough love, but we're still here. And I think that's what's so important. I mean, we send letters to prison so an example is one of my clients that's on parole violates, goes into prison. He has to do 90 days. I'm writing him letters like, hey, it's okay. We support you. We can't wait for you to come home. Let's get back on the wagon. It really builds their confidence and makes them feel like CRT is there for them, and that we're part of that safety net and we're not going anywhere.
So if I'm a family member and I'm concerned about somebody in my family that, you know, might possibly be drug addicted, what are some signs I'm looking for?
Signs that you're looking for is definitely if somebody looks under the influence, right, of a particular substance. You might seem like they're off, right? They have pin pupils, so they're not dilated, they're not regular, like they're really, really small. Some individuals that use needles might have, you know, marks within their arms or in their body. You know, they're particularly like nodding out. They're not attending work. Their hygiene or their, you know, social connectiveness might be off. You know, you're finding that maybe money is missing, or they're unable to account for their finances. I mean, there's just an abundance amount of signs that you might say, hey, let's have a conversation. I love you. What's going on?
Right.
I love that question, but it's such a question that there's like not one answer to. Definitely, if you feel it, have that conversation. It's coming from a good place. You know, obviously check yourself. I can't imagine having that conversation with a loved one or if a child. You know, I had a client a couple years ago. She overdosed. I was in ICU with her family, and the worst experience is hearing a mother have to pull a plug on her child. You know, just that pain of losing it from addiction. It will stay with me for the rest of my life. So if a family member feels that something's going on, you can give me a call. You can stop by, bring a mask, stop by 330 Market Street. I'm here 5 days a week until 5 o'clock. And let's give you the resources. Let's give you the support. And we don't even care if you're a client. We just want to be able to help our community, because like we talked about, this is everybody.
This is a very, very serious problem in America as a whole. And, you know, it does a lot of times, like I said, start with just painkillers after a surgery or an accident or whatever. And in my case, the person that's in my family was actually allowed to have a prescription for up to 3 years of painkillers. And then when that got cut off, that's when he turned to heroin. Because pills in the streets are like $50 a piece. So
if it's a real pill,
so it's cheaper to get heroin.
It takes, so I think it was up to 72 hours you can get addicted through a painkiller. That's mind blowing to me, especially if you're going through something emotionally, if home is not good, if you're out on your own, if you're being abused or you're suffering in some way, and you take this prescribed medication and it makes you feel so good and you don't have anything to fall back on or know better, you're going to continue, most likely you're going to continue to get what makes you feel better about yourself. And that's very, very scary, like you said, with the prescriptions. For anyone that, you know, I know people that have addiction issues in their family, and even though they might not particularly have one, when they go to the hospital, they'll have the nurses write on the tag, no opioids.
Right. That's smart.
Just for that purpose. And I think that's another strategy for people that are in recovery is, remember, your loved ones need to know, if it happens to you, no opioids. You know, I had a woman that went through a panic attack, and they give you, you know, a benzo to calm down. And she's like, no, give me something else. Help me some other way. Don't wake my beast.
Hey, Casie, if folks can't get into the office for some reason, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you right now?
Yes. So I have a cell phone number. So my work cell phone is 860-549-3350. But like I said, at least 2 staff members are on site at 330 Market Street, Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday, from about 8:30 to 4:30, 5 o'clock. So if you're unable to get a hold of me, you don't have a phone, a lot of individuals that don't have phones, we are still open to provide support to those people.
And Casie, you have so many great meetings going on. I mean, I saw here that you're part of the Breaking Bread program with our friend Sue Willett from Roadway of Hope. So tell me a little bit about that, because she's talked to us about this in the past. It just sounds so fun.
She's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so thankful to have met her. You know, being a part of something that's affecting everyone, you know, it builds a tight social connectiveness. And she facilitates with Lisa Jensen, one of our opioid family support meetings that's currently being held in Middletown. You know, they go over Narcan training at every single meeting. So parents, loved ones, are able to go there and see what Narcan is, see how to administer it, receive their own kit every single meeting. If they need more kits, I give them more kits. They also do an open discussion. They also incorporate harm reduction resources. So a lot of times it's hard to accept that harm reduction methods when you're a loved one, you want them to just stop altogether. But unfortunately, sometimes that doesn't happen. So how can we reduce the harm? And the harm is, you know, infectious diseases, Hep C, overdose, death. So how can we reduce that? You know, clean needle exchange and, you know, this and that. So she teaches all about those different methods. You know, if you see paraphernalia, how to dispose of it, and medication in the cabinet. And then they incorporate they bring people from the community, well, obviously not right now from COVID, but she brings people from the community to teach meditation, yoga, CPR, first aid. So people that have been in recovery coaches. So she just fills the families with the knowledge and the resources to really understand and help support their loved ones or anyone that might be affected by opioid use disorder.
Yeah. And I just want to get the point across here that once you are opioid addicted, you are addicted for life. And so if you're thinking about possibly popping these pills, I know there's pill parties going on, right, Meech? I mean, there's pill parties. And if you're thinking about maybe shooting up heroin, I would not do it, only because you are addicted for the rest of your life once you become addicted. And it changes your body. I know that, you know, even my family member has certain tics. He moves his jaw a certain way. He doesn't always look very healthy. And these are lasting effects from his addiction, even though he now is claiming he is clean.
Right. And it really depends on what's in that substance as well. I know individuals that have used heroin injected and they've had to get their legs amputated, or, you know, their overdose caused them to bump their head, and now they're impaired with their speech or their learning and stuff. You know, it's such a trickle effect, like you said. But there is hope. Actually, today, one of our success stories walked in to get his family picture that he provided to me so we could incorporate in our annual report and really highlight his success being with CRT. He's an individual African American male in his 60s, and I call him my OG. He's literally an OG of Hartford.
All right.
Been in and out of the system, you know, just graduated federal probation, and he celebrated a year of sobriety with us. And he came in and he's like, "Hey, Case, you have any more of those Narcans?" And I'm like, "Yeah, do you need some?" And he's like, "You know, you saved my life and I'm helping save others."
Oh.
And that was just like, this is an individual that's been through the trenches, been through the crime and the addiction and this and the prison stuff. And he's just like, "I go through the streets. I go to the harm reduction center. I want to give back. And I thank you so much for helping me." And that means a lot, you know, and there is hope. There is hope. It's not easy, but there is hope. So I liked how you brought that up, Jenny.
Well, thank you. And before we go today, I you know, and by the way, Casie, please just keep us updated on any more programs that pop up through the community renewal team, because this is a really big problem in the United States. We know how big a problem it is. We have dealt with it. I have dealt with it on a personal level. So I am very passionate about this subject, and anything I can do to help out with you and shining light on this, please let me know, because and just come on the show whenever you feel that there's anything new that you need to update us on. I really mean that. Okay. So Jason, before you go, I know Meech wanted to talk to you about this financial literacy program that you have going on.
Yeah, perfect. I appreciate that. And actually, just one quick thing, Meech, before that, Casie, can you do a quick shout out about the Mara meetings and what's happening with those?
Yes. So Mara, I don't know if you guys were aware, but I'd say about a year ago, CRT was approached by a couple individuals that been in recovery that actually know us. And they say, "Hey, let's start a MARA meeting." And what a MARA meeting is basically a 12-step fellowship for individuals that are on some type of medication to help them in their recovery. And it's accepted, and they're able to get a sponsor, and they're able to feel supported that, hey, I need to be on Suboxone in order not to go shoot dope. Hey, I need to be on methadone so that I don't, you know, go use and then end up stealing from my mother and then ended up incarcerated. So we used to hold them at 330 Market Street in Hartford every Monday from 6:30 to 7:30. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we did have to go virtual. So there is a Zoom meeting, and I can send you, I think I can resend the flyer and brochure, but the marainternational.org has CRT's link posted on their site. So that's pretty cool.
Right, that's awesome.
And you can find
anyone
that
wants to attend a meeting that, you know, doesn't feel particularly comfortable, and then an original 12-step fellowship, because they're on MAT, they can definitely tune in and join in, and they will be they'll be able to be welcomed.
Okay, well, that sounds outstanding.
It's really cool. And you can find details about the MARA meetings on CRT's website as well.
It's super cool.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if I can do a quick shout out about the program we have coming up, our Financial Literacy Institute, I'd love to just mention that real quick.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So this is amazing. Every year, our community services team, who are also over at Market Street, they put together this amazing program. It's 14 weeks, once a week. It's intense. It's a class that you're going to have to go to. And if you commit to do it, it's free to sign up. It's for adults 18 and over. It is going to help you get your financial house in order. If you, for whatever reason, right, you're feeling stresses because of the world these days, or you lost your job and you're not sure how you're going to save for the future, or you're finding yourself dealing with a lot of debt right now, or credit situations, or you're thinking, you know, am I going to lose my house, or how am I going to pay the rent next month? You know, all of the stresses that people are dealing with right now. This Financial Literacy Institute is really a great idea. It's going to help you get, take control of your financial future, right? And really understand what you need to do. You can sign up now. Registration is going on now until the end of this month. The classes themselves, they begin on Tuesday, September the 8th, and it's once a week for 14 weeks. It's free to attend. They will be online this year. In the past, they've been in person. right? But because of COVID world, we've got to keep people safe. So
I might take that class, Jason, because
It's
damn, I got a
amazing.
lot of debt.
Well, okay. Well, so it's an
No,
interesting
I really
challenge.
do. I mean, like it's
I
scary.
get
It's
it. I
scary
get it.
debt. I'm like scared.
So, all right. All right. So, but that's the thing. People, okay. So, but I'm glad you said that, Jenny. I mean, I'm sorry that that's the case, but here's the thing.
Well, Jason, I was
Well,
going to say, can you just pay my debt or no? No.
I work for a
Okay.
nonprofit,
Work
Jenny.
that out.
Right?
Oh, that's
I
right.
work
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Okay.
I
So,
forgot. Sorry.
But here's the thing, right? What you're raising, the point you're raising is really, really important. The fact is, a lot of people, they're scared of the debt, right? They're
Right. Yeah.
scared of, and they're trapped by the debt because
I'm
they
trapped and
don't
I'm scared.
yeah, but it doesn't have to stay that way, right? There's things that you can do. There's things that you can do to really help take back control of your own financial future. And this class is a cool way to do that. The instructors are amazing. I know both of them. They're CRT employees. They bring in guests on a regular basis. This year, because it is going to be online, it'll be like a Zoom like this. You'll go, it's 2 hours sessions on Tuesday evenings. You cannot miss more than 2 out of the 14. If you do, kick you out of class, right? You're not going to get a grade or anything at the end, but there is homework that they expect you to do. There is at the end. In the past, they've done a really lovely graduation ceremony for everybody involved with the cap and gown and a
Meechie, I got a graduation ceremony and everything.
You should totally sign up, Jenny. I think you'd get a lot out of it.
Yeah, because I just got my daughter's college bill, and
Yeah,
literally,
okay.
it's ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah,
It's
right.
an ugly situation.
Well, see,
Jason.
and here's the. I'm sorry. I get it. But here's the thing. Like, think back to, for me, right back in high school, once upon a time, financial literacy was not something that was taught, right? These days, it's starting to happen. The kids are starting to get some of that education at the high school level. But for most of us who are in the working world today, understanding personal finance is something that we take it for granted, but it's something you're just supposed to figure out on your own somehow.
Well,
right?
also, if you have parents that had a lot of debt, I feel like parents that had a lot of debt, sometimes their kids carry a lot of debt.
That's right. It'll get passed right along from one generation to the next.
Yeah.
So again, here's an opportunity to learn about how to figure all that out and get a real hold on it and fix it, right? And truly, truly fix it. Registration's happening now. You go to CRT's website at www.crtct.org. There's a banner right on the homepage that will take you to the landing page. There's a quick registration form to fill out. It is free to sign up for the Financial Literacy Institute. The classes themselves, again, will start on September the 8th. They go once a week right into December. It's every Tuesday evening. It'll be a Zoom. It'll be online. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't even have to get out of your pajamas.
We could drink wine during it, Meech.
You could. I won't tell, right? I mean, that's...
You're going to ask how much you paid for that wine.
Well, that'll be part of the discussion.
Right. It's part of the problem.
Casie, I drink cheap wine. Okay, I'm a cheap date over here. Okay.
It's a box wine. It's okay. It's pretty good. But sign up. I think you'd actually find it really, really interesting. The instructors are incredible. Two of the people that work at CRT, they're in community services. They are really experts in this material. And then they bring in others. They bring in folks from banks and from other financial institutions to help talk to the students. And anyone is eligible to take it. If you're here in the Connecticut area and you're listening, you're thinking to yourself, I need to understand my financial future. I need to understand how to get a hold of it and take control back for yourself, right? Here's an opportunity to do that. And it's free to sign up, right? I would definitely encourage you to do it. It's a great
I'm excited.
idea. Okay,
Meechie,
cool.
aren't you excited about our class we're going to take on Tuesdays?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right.
Meechie, do you have debt?
A
A little bit?
little bit,
Yeah. I feel like you'd be pretty good. Like you probably don't have too much debt.
I got like college, school.
Oh, college stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you went to school, you probably took out loans at one point or another. That applies to a lot of us, right?
Right.
Or if you have a car loan, or if you whatever the case may be. And part of it too is it's also helping you understand how to save for the future, right? And think about your own retirement and thinking about making sure you have money for an emergency. A lot of us these days,
does anybody have money in their bank account for emergencies? Because I really don't. I never do. I have a savings account. It's got like $5 in there.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I try to.
Casie, you have money for emergency? Well, we know to call you if something goes down.
It's so I moved an hour away from my hometown, so I took part of my check. So like 200 biweekly gets sent to that bank. So unless I want to spend money and take the time to go drive to that bank to pick it up, I don't.
That's smart. You were smart.
You're smart. That was good,
smart.
Casie. You're a good catch there, girl.
You will be glad to have that later. You never know. You might need it later on, right? I mean, it's
Right.
important. All right.
All right. So we're going to touch base again in a couple weeks, okay? Because
Yeah,
I know
real
you guys
quick.
got great things going over there.
Real
What's
quick,
going on?
Jason.
Yeah.
So I found out that my mother did the census,
Oh,
Hey,
yay!
all right.
but she did not
Oh.
include me.
Oh, no, she messed it up.
So-
What do you do now?
Now I feel like I'm just not part of the family anymore, or not.
No, you've been kicked out.
But
You're gone.
so now I have to go do it myself, obviously, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But
please
my
do it
question
Yeah.
is, do I still use her address, or do I use my address for my apartment?
yourself. Then in this case, I would use your address from your apartment.
Okay.
What if his license has his mom's address?
I would still go. Where do you get your mail?
My mom?
At your mom's place. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's okay. Try it with your apartment address. I would try it first.
Okay.
Because since it is supposed to be one per household, right?
Right.
Because the system may take a look at the address you put into the computer, and it'll say, wait, that's already been accounted for. What are you doing here, right? So
Right.
I think you're better off to use your apartment address.
Okay.
It'll take 5 minutes. Your mom probably knocked it right out, but she left you out, dude.
Yeah,
That's
she left
bold.
me out.
Well, it's confusing when the kids slip somewhere else.
Right.
Right?
Understood. Yes,
I mean, it's
true.
confusing because
Yes, it is.
I told you my daughters both moved out, but they're still getting their mail here and stuff. I'm like, yo, we just need to break free. We don't need to just be like, goodbye.
No, I understand. My son has been living with his girlfriend for the past couple of months, and that's great, wonderful. But I put him on the census reporting for our household.
Right, because he's still like dealing with you. It's not like he's on his own completely, right?
Not yet.
Right, yeah. And he might come back. Just letting you know, Jason, that happened to me before too.
Okay. Oh, fantastic.
Few times.
Yeah, it's not fun. That's not fun. You're like, oh, you're back. Oh,
You're back.
okay.
What are you doing here? Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
No.
I thought we were done.
And
yeah.
Jenny, your census?
So yeah, I'm still working on that, but I'm going to get to it. So
Right.
I know that, you have a lot of events coming up for the census still, because it's not till the end of October. So we'll touch base again in a couple of weeks and talk about all those events. And by then I feel like I will probably have that census filled out.
All right. You know what? We could, otherwise, next time, here's an idea. We could do a screen share during this Zoom, and we could go on the web, and we could do your census on the
World Wide Web.
On the World Wide Web.
Okay. Wait, what's the email again? 2020 census.
The address for the census, 2020census.gov.gov.
Yeah.
2020census.gov. You go there. It's a secure site. It's safe. It'll take you 5 minutes tops, and you submit it, and it's an encrypted site when you submit it, so your data is secure. It's confidential. Please do the census. It's
and
so
if you
important.
threw out your postcard that came in the mail, they'll give you a new code.
They will give you a new code
because
when
I
you
threw
go
out
to the
mine.
website. That's right. Yeah, if you don't have
AKA if you didn't get that.
All right.
You're not out of the loop yet.
I know. I'm gonna go take care of this right now. Okay, okay, thank you very much. Okay, so Jason Black from Community Renewal Team and Casie Derosier, who's the